Before you pack for the Inca Trail, watch this video, because what you bring and what you don't can make or break your trek to Machu Picchu. We hiked the Inca Trail last month, and in this video, I am going to show you exactly what I recommend packing. There were a few things that I didn't bring that people in our group did, and everyone was jealous of them, so stay tuned. And trust me, you do not want to overpack for this hike. The porters will carry your duffel bag. This can weigh up to 15 pounds or 7 kilos, including your sleeping bag and your sleeping pad. And you'll be carrying the rest of your gear yourself up and down those infamous Inca steps. The lighter your backpack, the more you will enjoy the journey. And honestly, isn't that kind of a great metaphor for life? Let's get started. Here is everything you need on the Inca Trail. The first category that I'm going to go over is toiletries. This is one of the easiest things to overpack on because liquids are heavy. So I urge you to keep it super simple. So here's what I brought: toothbrush, small size toothpaste, and floss, a mini stick of deodorant, a small container of lotion that can be used for your body and your face, tweezers and nail clippers, and then a comb and a clip and anything else that you need for your hair, like hair ties. All of these items go into my ultralight Sea to Summit toiletry bag that I got at REI, and it has this hook and all these amazing pockets. I absolutely love this thing. This is the Sea to Summit hanging toiletry bag, size large. I always travel with a handful of medications, and I highly recommend that you do the same, because if, God forbid, you do end up getting sick on the Inca Trail, you need to have a couple of things handy in order to feel a little bit better. I always bring some Dayquil and NyQuil capsules, as well as cough drops, Pepto-Bismol for the tummy problems. I could do a whole commercial for Pepto-Bismol because this is one of the things that I never travel without, and anytime I get a little bit of diarrhea or just an upset tummy, Pepto-Bismol comes to my rescue. Not sponsored by Pepto-Bismol, but they should consider it, honestly. Some hydrocortisone cream for bug bites. And don't forget the pain medication, because these stairs are gonna leave you hurting. So make sure you bring some ibuprofen and Tylenol. And the two final things that I always travel with to boost my immune system are colostrum and vitamin C. I bought these little containers on Amazon and they're really awesome. I will link them in the description of this video. Here's what I use to treat blisters. These are like blister bandages that honestly feel like skin, so they form another layer of skin on your foot. And then for blister prevention, I really like using Vaseline. I get this little tub on Amazon, and if I feel any hot spot, any kind of rubbing in my foot, I take my shoe and sock off right away and put on some Vaseline. And two little things that always come in handy are a roll of bandage tape. This is also really helpful for blisters, and a little pair of scissors. We always need these for something. So I take all of these first aid type of items along with a couple of Band-Aids, and I put them in this little first aid bag that I bought on Amazon. Some very important items that you cannot forget are sunscreen, bug spray, and chapstick that has sunscreen in it. Sunglasses. These are Gooder brand sunglasses from REI. They're around 20 bucks and they're my favorite. And my hanky, because on the outside I may look like a young woman, but on the inside I'm actually an 80-year-old man and I blow my nose a lot. Now here is a pro tip for you that you probably will not hear anyone else. The next thing I'm going to share with you is my top secret bathroom bag system that I came up with on the Inca Trail. So the toilets on the Inca Trail are less than desirable, and this system gave me just a little bit of peace. Here's what it is. You're gonna need wet wipes, a lot of them, and you're gonna need toilet paper. You need to roll up a bunch of toilet paper and put it in a Ziploc bag like this. You'll also need a small bottle of Dr. Bronner's that you'll use as hand soap, as well as hand sanitizer. And a lot of the toilets do not have toilet seats. So if you want to have a seat in any of the public toilets on the Inca Trail, I recommend bringing a little bag of sanitizing wipes so that you can just maybe do like a little wipe around the rim if you want to sit down. I know that's gross, but here we are. And finally, for the ladies, this is a Kula cloth. This is an antimicrobial pee cloth that you usually snap onto the outside of your backpack, and you use it for going number one in nature. You use it just as you would use toilet paper, but it doesn't create waste, and you hand wash it with a little bit of soap and water. So you're gonna take all of these items and you're gonna make a bathroom bag, and this is going to save you from having to hunt around for all of these different things when it's time to go. This feels like an appropriate time to segue into snacks. Your trekking company will feed you well on the Inca Trail, but I always love bringing a couple of high protein snacks that I love from home. So I brought a handful of these barbell protein bars that I got on Amazon, and also these beef sticks. I actually got these at Costco. They're street taco flavored, so delicious, as well as an Element electrolyte packet for each day. This is a very, very important little item. I recommend having one per day, and at the end of the day, you just fill up your water bottle, put in your Element packet, and this is going to replenish your electrolytes, and it's also delicious. If you like salty stuff, these are very high in sodium, and I find them to be super delicious. They're definitely my favorite electrolyte packet. Again, I'm not sponsored, I just love these. And finally, a little something that you can pick up in Cusco are these coca leaf hard candies that are delicious. I always keep them in my hip belt pocket, and if I'm having a hard time or it's raining and I'm just like, I need a little pick-me-up, then I'm gonna pop in one of these candies. And the one food item that I did not bring that somebody else in my group did was a huge bag of jelly beans. So I will tell you, if you are hiking the Inca Trail with a group and you bring a big bag of jelly beans or any other type of candy like Sour Patch Kids to share with the group, you're gonna be the most popular person there. Next, let's move into gear. I'll start with trekking poles that have caps on them. Trekking poles are very important on the Inca Trail, again, because there's a ton of elevation gain and loss, and they're really just gonna help you out on those crazy Inca stairs. You can either bring them from home or you can rent them from your trekking company. I brought a waterproof backpack cover. Now, our trekking company did supply backpack covers, but they were bright green, and in my opinion, they look pretty atrocious in photos. So if you don't want to rock some crazy color backpack cover, bring your own. I did bring this little towel, but honestly, I didn't use it. One, because I didn't shower the whole time. Even though there was an opportunity for a cold shower on day 3, I didn't take it. And 2, because our trekking company supplied a little washcloth that we could use. They brought us hot water every morning and every night to wash our faces, which was so, so nice. And then we would dry off with their washcloth. I always bring a little massage ball. I didn't use it that much on the Inca Trail, but it's a super ultralight item that usually someone in the group can benefit from. You can kind of go up against a wall and roll out the hips, or you can use it to roll your feet. That is my favorite way to use it. So love having one of these. I recommend bringing a small foldable backpack. This is one that I got on Amazon. I think it's 20 liters. It folds up into itself, into its own little pocket, and gets really tiny and lightweight. I used this when we were walking around Machu Picchu because my bag was too big. You can't bring, I think it's bags over 25 liters into the actual site. So I put my stuff in a locker and brought this bag with some water and whatever else that I needed for our tour of Machu Picchu. A sitting pad. Now this is something that I would not leave behind. This is a very lightweight but very useful item, especially when your guide is going to be telling you a lot about the Inca ruins, and you can either sit in the dirt or you can bring a sitting pad and have a little extra comfort. Something that I did not bring was a camp chair. Literally didn't even cross my mind, but 2 people in our group brought these ultralight, I think they were around a pound, camp chairs, and they were way more comfortable than the rest of us. So pro tip, if you have a camp chair at home, or even if you want to invest in one, I'll link my favorite one below. It's a really, really great item to bring on the Inca Trail. A pair of knee braces. Again, the stairs are gonna hurt you. If you have any knee pain when you're hiking, don't leave home without a pair of knee braces. And for most of my little gear items, I bring these Eagle Creek packet storage bags that I've had forever, and it helps me to just keep things organized within my backpack. Let's talk about electronics. You are going to need a good headlamp. On a lot of trails that I do, I bring a headlamp just in case and don't really end up using it, but on the Inca Trail, we used it every night and every morning. It's gonna be your only source of light in your tent. This is an Energizer rechargeable headlamp that I got on Amazon, around 20, 25 bucks, and I really love it, so I'll link it below. A luggage scale. Now, you're not going to bring this on the Inca Trail, but it is important to have it beforehand beforehand so that you can weigh your duffel bag and make sure that it is not over that 7 kilos or 15 pounds mark that your porters will carry for you. There is no electricity along the Inca Trail, so you're going to need to bring a couple of battery packs. I brought these 2 battery packs and they were plenty. You'll also need a cord to be able to charge your phone from the battery pack. I also brought a solar panel that I was planning to use for the first time on the Inca Trail, but it turned out to be really slow and kind of clunky, so honestly I wouldn't recommend it. A few people in our group had battery packs that had solar chargers on them, and honestly those seemed really legit, so I am going to include those in the links instead of this. You're going to need a water bottle. I always bring my handy dandy 1-liter platypus bottle. It's reusable and really lightweight and foldable. I'm also a big fan of a water bladder so that you can drink while you're hiking. Very important stuff. Don't forget your passport and your wallet. And I recommend waterproofing both of those items. So what I use is this Sea to Summit dry bag. It's 5 liters. I put anything super important that cannot get wet in here and roll it up. My next category is sleeping items, where I will highlight my favorite eye mask. This is my favorite eye mask in the whole world. It is so comfy. It's not the most lightweight, but I think that I can sacrifice an ounce for the amount of comfort that this thing brings me. You'll also want to bring a couple pairs of earplugs. These are Max silicone earplugs and they're my favorite. I'm just a little bit bougie, so I brought my Nemo Philo pillow. Our trekking company provided a pillow, but I used this one between my knees, which was great. And hand warmers. On the second night, it was so cold. I shook up a couple of these bad boys and put them inside my sleeping bag, and it honestly gave me so much warmth. I rented a sleeping bag liner, and a sleeping pad from our trekking company. Now, if I did it again, I would bring my own sleeping bag liner because the one that they provided was cotton, so it didn't really have a lot of stretch. I honestly felt like I was trapped, and every time I turned, it would get twisted. So I would bring my own Sea to Summit Thermalite liner, which is gonna add warmth, and it's stretchy and really cozy. So if you have one of these already, bring it from home. Next, let's get into the real meat and potatoes. Clothing and accessories. Clothing is another area where it is so easy to overpack. You might think 4 days, 3 nights, I'm gonna need 4 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shorts, 4 shirts. No, don't do that. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need. I brought 1 pair of trekking pants and 1 pair of long base layer pants. These are REI, they're the heavyweight ones for the coldest weather, and I love them. So I wore my trekking pants during the day and my base layer pants at night. I brought 1 pair of shorts and I wore them once for about 2 hours and my legs got destroyed by mosquitoes. So honestly, if I was gonna do it again, instead of bringing a pair of shorts, I would bring 1 more pair of trekking pants. 4 pairs of socks, so that is 1 for each day. These are darn tough wool hiking socks. They're my favorite. 1 smart wool base layer top and 2 long sleeve hike hoodies. This one is Patagonia Capilene, one of my favorites, and this one is North Face. I brought 1 short sleeve t-shirt and I wore it once for 2 hours. So again, this is something that I could have lived without. Ladies, I recommend bringing 2 sports bras. For jackets, I brought this cool hoodie. It's called The One. I've had it for several years and I'm obsessed with it. And then don't forget your rain jacket. It rained a good amount on our second day of the Inca Trail as we were hiking up to Dead Woman's Pass. So it was very cold and it was raining. I wore my rain jacket and I wore the poncho that my company provided on top of my rain jacket that also covered my backpack. This system kept me really dry, but again, the poncho that they provided was a loud, bright green color. So all of our photos from the top of Dead Woman's Pass are a little bit goofy. For warm accessories, you'll need a pair of gloves, a fleece neck gaiter, and a beanie. I also used a hat a lot during the day, as well as a regular neck gaiter. This is not fleece lined, just like a regular one like this that goes around your neck. And of course, I put all of these clothing items into my REI packing cubes. I also want to tell you that I brought 1 more top layer, this Patagonia hoodie, but I did not end up using it. Now for our second to last category, let's talk about one of the most important decisions that you will make while packing for the Inca Trail, which is your shoes. I brought 2 pairs of shoes. These are my Brooks Cascadia trail running shoes. So these are what I wore for hiking. And these are my Teva sandals that I would put on at the end of the day. So these are my camp shoes. We hiked the Inca Trail with 16 people, and the people in our group wore a mix of hiking boots and trail running shoes. The favorite hiking boots amongst our group were the Asolo Fugitives, the Salomon X Ultra 5s, and the La Sportiva Nucleo High 2s. The favorite trail running shoes amongst our group, the Hoka Speed Goats, the Topo Terra Ventures, and the Ultra Lone Peaks. In the end, this decision of wearing boots or trail running shoes is all about personal comfort. And for the grand finale, the backpack. I brought my Osprey Exos trusty 48-liter backpack on the Inca Trail. It has served me well for over a decade at this point. And while it is way bigger than what I actually needed for the Inca Trail, it is the most comfortable backpack, and it's kind of like my home. So this is what I brought, and I loved it. Most of the people in our group brought much smaller backpacks, and the favorite ones were the Osprey Stratos 34, the Osprey Cirrus 36, the Osprey Sportlight 25. Can you notice a trend here? Osprey backpacks are awesome. The Osprey Talon 22, and then the REI Traverse 35. So as you can see, I would recommend bringing anything from a 25 to a 36 liter backpack on the Inca Trail. Thank you so much for watching my Inca Trail packing video. And super exciting news, we are heading back to Peru with my group travel company Travel Light in September of 2026. So if you want to join an awesome group trip where everything is completely planned out for you, check the link in the description of this video. Happy trails!